Hi everyone, hope you're all well. Welcome back to our channel, and in today's video I'm going to be comparing the two of Wix's most popular website creation platforms, Wix Studio Editor and Wix Editor X. I'm going to be covering everything from their target audiences to design capabilities, and also going over a little bit about how each of them work. So whether you're an individual just starting out or an agency managing multiple sites, this video might help you decide which platform is right for you. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first one that we're going to talk about is the Wix Studio Editor. The Wix Studio Editor is a new website creation platform from Wix designed for agencies and freelancers who manage multiple sites or work with various teams. It offers a more streamlined and efficient way to build high-end websites at scale, with features such as smart design capabilities, because it uses AI to provide design suggestions and automate many of the design tasks, freeing up time for agencies to focus on more complex projects. It also offers flexible development tools, including custom CSS, APIs, SPIs, and reusable components. This allows agencies to create custom websites that meet their clients' specific needs. And Wix Studio also provides a game-changing workspace that allows agencies to manage multiple sites and clients from a single location. This makes it easier to collaborate, track progress, and keep track of all your projects. So let's take a closer look at the Wix Studio Editor and how to get started with it. So the Wix Studio themes and templates are essentially custom templates that you can create in Wix Studio. They allow you to save unique site design, and you can also reuse it for other sites or even sell it to other Wix users. So to create a Wix Studio theme, you first need to create a site in Wix Studio. Once you've created your site, you can customize it to your liking, including the layout, design, apps, and once you're happy with the site, you can save it as a template. But Wix also offer their own templates as well. They used to offer a bunch of templates with their Editor X and the ADI. They still have those, but with the new Studio Editor, they also come with new templates as well. So you can start off with a completely blank template, save it, and customize the layout to however you want it, and you'll have your very own custom template, or you can use one of the Wix Studio templates as well. Wix Studio themes are really powerful, and they can save you a lot of time and effort when creating new sites. They also allow you to create unique and professional websites that stand out from the crowd. Some benefits of using the Studio themes instead of creating a blank canvas is that it saves a lot of time and effort. So Wix Studio allows you to create new sites really quickly and easily without having to start from scratch. You can create unique and professional websites. They're really highly customizable, so you can create a website that's truly unique and reflects your brand. And if you're a web designer, you can sell your Wix Studio themes to other Wix users, and this is a really great way to generate some extra income as well. So if you're looking for a way to save time and effort when creating new sites, or if you want to create a unique and professional website, then Wix themes are a really great option. So let's get started. So when you first log into the Wix dashboard, you'll see your Wix Studio dashboard as well, covering all of the sites that you currently have and notifying which ones are made with Wix Studio, which ones are made with the editor, things like that. So what you want to do is click on the Create New Site option on the top right, and you have two options. You have options to create another site with editor, or you have the options to create a site with Wix Studio. With the Wix Studio option, there's three options. You can start from a completely blank canvas, so there's no templates, no colors, no themes or anything. You do everything from scratch. You can start from a template that Wix Studio offer, or you can use your own template, and this will probably come into effect once you've actually created your own template first, save that, and then once you do that, you can use your own template. So for now, what we're going to do is start from a template. We'll also look at how to start with a blank canvas as well. So the process is very similar to using the editor. You'll get a you'll get a showcase of a bunch of templates by Wix Studio. You can view them, you can edit them as you want, but essentially you would just go through each of them, and there's different versions. So you can have templates or you can have wireframes. So the templates are more themed. They'll have like images stayed over, font colors, all of that. And then with the wireframes, they'll just show the layout, and it's up to you to then add your own colors, themes, images, things like that. So we're going to use the wireframes to create a very basic site. We are going to use one of these here. To view them before you actually edit them, you can just hover over each of them and just click on view.
and see what that template looks as you scroll down, and also what it looks like on different devices as well. All of these templates are mobile responsive, so kind of it's up to you if you wanted to use one of these or not. This one looks good, so what we're going to do is we're going to use this one. We're going to click on edit template on the right here to open a new site with that template and wireframe. So you can see we have the section here, and we have the new editor here as well. So you can see the layout is pretty much the same. You've got the tools here to add new pages. You've got the tools to add different assets and manage your pages and the theme as well. And then you've also got a section on the right, and this works as almost like an element editor as well. So for example, if I click on this element, this will now change to show all of the options that I can do with that element. The Studio Editor provides a really wide range of practical tools to ensure your website looks really good on all screens, and this means that you can focus on the design and spend less time figuring out the right sizing units for every single element. So you can design an element the way you want it to look on desktop and choose a responsive behavior that meets your needs. The responsive behavior ensures that it automatically adjusts to different breakpoints. So to give an overview of the editor, this page here, right in the middle of the editor, this part here, this is known as the canvas. So the canvas refers to the page you're designing right in the middle of the editor, and you can see the default size of the canvas you want to work with, and drag the handles as well on the right and left side if you wanted to make the canvas a little bit bigger. This isn't the size layout of your website, this is just your own canvas and what you can work with. Clicking an element selects it, and it opens a toolbar of options, and these options vary depending on the type of element, helping you customize it with all your needs. So you can hover over an element to select thing as well. What you can also do is you can hover over a label's element to select one of its parent elements instead. So for example, this button here, if I hover over that, I can see the parent elements that's part of it. So the parent element is the stack, and then there's also a cell, and there's also this section as well. So it makes it really easy to really pinpoint what it is that you want to select as well. You can also do the same in the editor on the top right. So if I hover on the top right, you can see all the parent elements for that text as well. If I click on the two dots, the parent elements are for this stack is the cell, and if I click on that, I can see all the cell options, and if I click on section, I can see the section options as well. So the next part is the top bar here. So the top bar includes lots of useful tools to control the site and view of your canvas. So you can hover over the Wix Studio logo over here to open a menu with site actions, viewing options and shortcuts to other parts of your account. Using the page drop-down is very quickly to navigate between site pages. This is also the same in the previous editors with the ADI and the normal editor that we had, the Editor X. And the list of pages is organized by the page type. So for example, store pages will be in one section, member pages will be in one section, but it's all going to be fine in this drop-down. So you can find one of the pages that you need a lot quicker. In the middle of the top bar, you can find everything to do with breakpoints and responsive sizes as well. You can click on the breakpoints to see and adjust a page in different screen sizes, and the screen size you see is the current size of the canvas. So it's also the default size for editing for the breakpoint you're currently on. So each breakpoint can have its own default size, and you can set it to whatever that's comfortable for you. Or you can just leave it to the default sizes that Wix Studio come with. On the right hand side here, you can see who else is currently working on this website, because this Wix Studio Editor means that other people on your team, your colleagues, can also collaborate with you on the website. They can edit the site, they can edit the pages exactly how you want it. And you can also check the site notifications. Your undo and redo actions are here as well. You can preview and obviously publish your site as well. So most of that is similar to what we've had previous, it's just styled a little bit differently as well. On the left side panels of the Studio Editor, you can find the main panels that you'll work with. So you have the Add Elements panel here. You can find hundreds of elements to add to the site, whether they are design elements or business apps, like online stores. You can use the tabs to navigate between the different types of apps that you can add to your site. Then you have the Layers tab, and this is basically will let you see the pages, layers, and elements in like hierarchy from top to bottom. When you're selecting a parent element, for example, a section container in the panel, you can see all of the elements that are inside it. So for example, if you click on this section here, you can see it selects on the page which section that is. And then we can also see within that drop down what is actually in each cell, each section, things like that. What you can also do is rename each section. So as you can see, just like this, it's just a list of sections that's not very easy to navigate. If we click on each section, for example, if I click on this section, I can see it's a featured service section. I can click on the 3 dots and I can just click on rename and just rename that to featured services section. And that way, and I can do that with all of these sections here, so that way I know really quickly what each sections are. It makes it a lot easier to navigate, so definitely recommend doing that as you go and add different elements to your site. Next you have the Pages tab, and this will allow you to add new pages, edit each page's settings, and delete those that you don't need anymore. You have the global sections, and this panel shows all of the global sections, which are sections that you set to appear on multiple pages. You can rename, duplicate, delete, or add global sections to pages that they don't appear on. And then you have Site Styles as the next tab, and this is very similar to what we've had before. You basically allows you to set the typography, style, color, and page transitions, and essentially the theme palette for your entire site. You will do it here. So all of the typography that you want to use for your headings and your paragraphs will be applied here. Colors, all of that will be applied here as well. Next tab is the App Market, and this just allows you to browse through hundreds of apps in the Wix App Market and find the ones that suits your needs. You have then the Content Manager, and this will allow you to manage site's contents, collections, and dynamic pages. And then you have a section to add some code, so you can extend your site's functionality with code, create a JavaScript web app, things like that. So this is very new. This isn't offered in the Editor X, so this is new to the Studio. So definitely a lot more functionality in this one as well. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there is a comments section as well. So this is useful when you're collaborating on a site with multiple people. You can type in your comment and other people can see if it's a comment about a certain section that needs changed. You can apply that as well. This little tab here is the video tutorials. This will allow you to essentially quickly view some videos about using certain things like the Studio Editor. These are from Wix as well. So you're able to check anything that you might have a problem with as well. And then the little question mark at the bottom is the little help center. You can ask the community, you can report bugs, you can contact customer care really quickly from that area. So that is an overview of Wix Studio Editor, and then this is our template theme as well. You can sort of see that it's really similar to how Wix Editor was and the ADI, but there's just a lot more functionality, and there's also a lot more customizability we can do. For example, adding in the responsive behavior as well, and adding in the different styling as well for that as well. So you can see with the template, it's still the same. You're still adding different pages, and you can also edit that template as well. With the blank canvas, it'll look a little bit different. So this time when we're at our account dashboard, when we create a new site, we are going to create a site from a blank canvas and let that set up as well. So this is the blank canvas, and as you can see, it's a lot more different to how the template or the wireframes were. It's still the same in terms of the different panels that you have. You've got the left panel here with all of the pages, elements. You've got the responsive bar on the top here, and on the right you've got the editing elements as well. But the actual canvas is a little bit different. We only get the header. We also get the footer as well, and then everything in the middle is blank. So it's completely up to us how we style and add our elements and how we add the layouts as well. So depending on what kind of business you have, what kind of website you're making, and also your time and your budget, it's up to you whether or not this is a option, but you do have the option to completely start from scratch as well. You can start with adding in your pages and editing your site theme as well, which we'll cover in the next video. So let's talk about some of the benefits of using a template design over a custom design. The first one is usually cost. So templates are typically more affordable in custom design. This is because templates are pre-made and can be reused by multiple people, which drives down the cost. The main one is time. So templates can save you a significant amount of time as well, and this is because you don't have to start from scratch when you use a template. You can simply customize a template to fit your needs. Templates are typically very easy to use. If you don't have any design experience, you can still use a template to create a professional looking website or document. And templates can help you create consistent designs across all of your marketing materials, and this can help strengthen your brand identity and make your business look more professional. There are some drawbacks, for example, limited flexibility, technical issues if you're not familiar with web design or coding, but mainly a lack of originality, so templates can make your website or document look less original than a custom design. Overall, the benefits of using templates typically outweigh the drawbacks, but it's important to weigh pros and cons carefully. So there are some things that you want to consider whenever you want to choose the right template. The first thing is purpose and content. So you want to take into account the reason of your website. So like if your website is mainly for written content, you want to look for a template that can house written content in an easy to read way. If it's a very visual kind of service that you offer, then you want to make sure the template you choose has space for lots of images, big images, high quality images, things like that. You want to consider what your design aesthetic is, content presentation and scalability as well. And you want to be able to demo and preview the site as well.
So now let's look at how we can actually edit our theme. Now that we have a template set up, we can now look at how to actually edit the theme and customize it to how we want to match with our branding and fonts as well.
So we have our website here, and this is using the wireframe that we set up before in our last video. And what we're going to do to edit the actual site theme, we are going to go on the left here, and we are just looking for this site styles panel here. So with this panel in the editor, you can choose your entire site's look, feel, and aesthetic. You want to use the site design panel to choose your color and text theme and change your page backgrounds and transitions. You can then add themed elements from add panel to reinforce your site's look. So you've got three options. You've got typography, colors, and page transitions. Start off with the typography. So with the typography, you want to choose essentially your text theme. These are the styles that's currently applied. If you click on the More Styles button, you can open a library of text styles, and these are essentially text styles that have been saved from previous websites that you've done. So it's up to you how you want to style that. But essentially, you just want to click on each heading, for example, and change the font family, change the font size, and decide if you want the text to be scaled or not. And so this is essentially a responsive option. So if you click on scale text, it's going to scale the text slightly bigger or smaller depending on the breakpoint. It's a good option to have because it means it makes responsiveness of your text a little bit easier. And then you can decide some formatting things like underline, bold, or which color that you want it as well. So we're going to keep the font family as made for display, but we are going to turn it down a little bit, maybe to 50. Keep the scale text, and we're going to bold that one as well. So that's the heading 1 added. And we're just going to go through each of them and do the same. So we've got heading 2, Wix made for display, and we've got 40. That's actually fine. We can leave that the way it is. Heading 3, we can leave the sizing the way it is, but we're also going to bold it, just makes it a little bit better. And with the heading 4, we are just going to keep that unbolded. That's fine. And yeah, so you can see a little on the top as well what's being used. So you can see all of these are Wix made for display, and what they're being used for as well. And then you've got the 3 paragraph text as well. And they have the same options. So click on paragraph 1, you can decide the font family, the font sizing, and whether or not you want the scale text as well. We're going to scale this text as well as the other paragraph text as well. Your text theme will have these several heading and paragraph styles, and this basically just allows for different text elements on your site. You can adjust each style to your liking, including the font, spacing, and size as well. The next is the colors palette. So creating a color theme is a really important step in your site design process. When you use consistently, these colors kind of set the tone for your visitors and introduce them to your brand as well. Your color theme is automatically used across your site and in the themed elements in the panel as well. If you click on, so this is the colors here, and this is the colors that are currently being used on your site. If you click on more styles, you can decide to save colors to your library. You can open libraries as well, and you can apply styles from other libraries as well. So there are lots of ways to color your site as well. To choose and customize color theme, you just want to go over to the colors as well, and these are essentially the colors that you want to change. So the way the color themes are used on your site is as follows. So the first one is color 1, and this is background and text. So color 1 is used for the background and text across your site. So if you've added Wix apps, for example, those pages use the same background color and text. In most cases, you'll see that the brightest tint, this is tint 1 here, is the brightest tint, and that's used for the background, and the darkest tint, which is number 5 here, that's used for the text. So we recommend you create a high contrasting pairing so that the information on your site is really easy to read. So you can see here I've changed the background color to this beige color, and you can see the background color has been changed here, and the brown color is still there as well. The next one is the action color, and this action colors are used to drive visitors to make the choices you want by using an action color that stands out. The action color is used for elements like links, buttons, and menu elements. It also appears in themed elements like buttons and boxes, as well as pages related to Wix app. So the tint in the middle is what's used frequently, so we recommend choosing one that contrasts with your background. That ensures that the most important element in your site are accessible and noticeable as well. So we're going to edit the color here and just add the color that we want, and it's a slightly more red tint. So colors 3, 4, and 5, these colors here, are additional colors. So you can choose up to 3 additional colors to complete your color scheme. These are displayed in various places, so they should match and complement the other colors that you've selected as well. So we've got one color here, and we're going to add a few darker colors as well to make it a little bit more contrasting. Okay, so we've got a sort of neutral background with some reddish hues as well, to add some contrast and depth. So we've got our color styles applied. If we wanted to, if we click on more styles, we can save these colors to your library, and we can save and reuse to add to any site. Custom colors. And you can see here, and you can turn on sharing as well to share with other members of your site as well. And lastly is page transitions. So with the page transitions, they essentially allow you to change how people navigate throughout your site. This can be really this can create a really fun and lively navigation experience for your visitors, and encourages them to keep exploring as well. So if you go into page transition, you can click on which type of transition that you want, in or none. You can only view the transition on the published site, so you won't be able to see it in previews, is the only thing. So that's really it. Once we have that set up, you can see the rest of our site now follows that kind of background that we've selected, and the colors that we've selected as well. So it just means now that when you add elements, we don't need to style them as much because they'll follow the style pattern that we set for them. What's really good about the editor is that everything is auto-saved, so we don't need to save as we go along. The only thing that we'll need to do is publish whenever the site is ready to launch. But that's it. That's your site editor done, your theme editor done, and we can go ahead and start actually building out the website. So some of the benefits I've seen now of using the setting up a site theme on Wix includes consistency. So a site theme will help you create a consistent look and feel for your entire website, and this can help improve your website's usability and make it more visually appealing to users. A well-designed site theme can make your website look more professional and polished, and this is really important if you're using your website for business or e-commerce purposes. Setting up a theme can help you save a lot of time and effort when designing your website, and you don't have to worry about choosing colors, fonts, layouts, as everything is already done for you. Wix site theme is highly customizable, so you can create a unique look for your website, and you can change the colors, fonts, images, and other elements of the theme to match your branding and style. And it's really easy to use. As we've seen, we didn't need any coding to set up a theme for our text and our colors. We just select the colors that we want for each element, and then we customize it to our liking. Overall, it's a really great way to create a professional and visually appealing website without having to spend too much time and effort. So it helps as well. So there are some things that you need to consider when choosing the fonts and colors for your theme. What you want to keep in mind is your branding. So your fonts and colors should match your overall branding. So if you already have a logo or a brand color, use them throughout your website. You want to consider your target audience when choosing your fonts and colors. So for example, if you're targeting a younger audience, you might want to use brighter and more playful colors. If you're targeting a business audience, you might want to use more subdued and professional colors. You want to make sure your fonts are readable and avoid using too many different fonts or colors on the same page. You should also make sure that your text is large enough to be easily readable on all devices. Consider people with disabilities when choosing your fonts and colors. For example, avoid using light text on a light background because this is going to make it really difficult for people to read. And create a balance between your fonts and colors. You don't want your website to look busy or overwhelming. Use a variety of fonts and colors, but make sure they all work well together. So use a limited number of fonts, no more than 2 or 3. In our site theme, we used the same font for all the headings, and then the paragraph text was slightly different but worked well together. It makes it look really cohesive. You want to choose fonts that are easy to read. You want to use complementary colors. You can use a color wheel to help you choose colors that go well together. You want to use contrasting colors for your text and background, and you want to test your fonts and colors on different devices, including computers, tablets, and smartphones as well.
Next up, we're going to look at the homepage and how to edit that using the Wix Studio Editor. So what is the actual purpose of a homepage? The purpose of a homepage is to introduce your website to visitors and make it easy for them to find the information they need to take the desired action. You want to make sure that you make a good and fresh impression, because the homepage is the first page that most visitors will usually see when they come to your website. So it's important to make a good impression. Your homepage should be visually appealing. Your homepage should be visually appealing, easy to navigate, and provide visitors with a clear understanding of what your website is about. Your homepage should also include links to all of the other important pages on your website, such as your About page, your Contact page, any product or service pages. This makes it really easy for visitors to find the information they're looking for and also direct them in a really easy way as well. So essentially provide a gateway to the rest of your website. And lastly, encourage visitors to take action. Your homepage should include a call to action that tells visitors what you want them to do next. And this could be anything from signing up to a newsletter, making a purchase, getting in contact, things like that. So yeah, the homepage is essentially one of the first page that your users will land on, and you want to make sure that you make it easy for them to find information that they need and take the desired action. By following these tips, you can create a homepage that is both effective and user-friendly. So in short, some best practices for building a homepage is to use clear and concise language. It needs to be easy to read and understand. Avoid using jargon or too many technical terms. You want to highlight important information. So what do you want your visitors to know about your website? Make sure that information is really prominently displayed on your homepage. You want to use high quality images and videos. You want to make it easy to navigate, and you want to include lots of call to actions on your homepage, things like directing them to another page, directing them to the services, blog pages, things like that, and getting in contact. So let's get started with our Wix website and designing our homepage. So we do have a brief kind of homepage setup as well. This is using the wireframe, so we're just going to make some tweaks to that. So the first part we have here is this section here. So we have a section for the title, and we have a section for a bit of text as well. So what we're going to do is we are going to edit the text on this title, and we're going to just edit the text on here. So the first part is essentially called the hero, and we want to make it stand out and add content that tells the user immediately what this website is going to be about and what kind of things they can expect to find. We also want to make sure that we use keywords in our headings so Google knows what this page should rank for, and if people are searching for things that we need, then our website will come up as well. So here we're just going to add a bit of text here. And what we're going to do, we are just going to increase the width of that so it fits all in one line as much as possible. So this is our main title text. This includes keywords that we want this page on our website to rank for, things like digital marketing, online businesses, things like that.
It's really important that you include these kind of actions and these kind of keywords on your website so that people will know what this website is about, but also Google will take these words and these headings and use them as content that this website should rank for. So the other thing we want to make sure is that this is in a heading 1 tag. So the heading 1 tag is your main heading tag. It should be the most important keyword or phrase that you want to rank for. So if you click on that, you can see under design, it's using the heading 1 tag, it's using the heading 1 text as well. So we are just going to make sure that we have heading 1 set up here. Digital marketing online. Perfect. And then the next thing that we want to do is add some content here as well. And this is just some paragraph content to sort of explain a little bit more about the business as well. So we are going to take that, we're going to edit text, and we're just going to type in some text that we would want on this website. And what we're going to do is also make sure that, so it's on paragraph 1, using paragraph 1 styling that we set up in our previous video editing the site theme. And the other thing that's left to kind of do is to add a call to action button. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on add elements, and we're going to look for a quick add, and we're looking for button. You can also look at basic buttons, you can also look at styled buttons, and really just pick a button that's going to work for you, but we are just going to add this button here. And we are just going to add it, attach it to this section, and we are going to just align it slightly so that it is aligned correctly to the text. We're going to keep the text as get started, but we are going to change the background color slightly, and we're going to turn it into this slightly red one, just to make it a little bit more stand out, and we're going to link it to the contact page. And that's it. So if we have an effective first heading up here, hero section as well. So we've got a heading with a good kind of title. And we've got a bit of text, and we've got a call to action as well. So it's a really effective hero section. So as well as making sure that it's looking fine on desktop, you also want to click on the different devices as well, to make sure it's looking fine on tablet as well. So one way you can really work that is if you click into each of the items and you want to click on responsive behavior. So responsive behavior will allow your website and your elements to respond in a way that you prefer. So depending on what you select, you can either scale proportionately, wrap, fixed, or even hug the text as well, so you can see a sort of preview of how that's going to work. For now we have everything set to scale proportionately. So the next thing that we have then is this about section here. So this is going to show a little bit about the team and about your services. So again, you just want to optimize this text a little bit, and make sure that you've got a keyword in there and that it explains everything as well. So we're going to click on edit text, and this is going to be a heading 2, and we are going to click on about and add in the new text. So instead of just using about, we've just used some text that says exactly what we're about without just using the simple word. And then again, we're just going to do the same with this edit text and add some text to increase that. And there's a learn more button over here, and we're just going to link that to the about page so they can learn more. We also have options to change the image. So if you click on the image here, click on change image, we can upload our own images, or we can use media from Wix and use some images from Wix that are free to use. and do the same with this image as well. And then just design this website. So next we have a repeater for our services as well. So we've added this repeater, we've added this AI services. So again, we're just going to go in and change the content. And again, we are just going to type in all of the services here. We'll get rid of the word services, it's quite repetitive. And just this last one here as well. We also can change the basic shape. You can do media from Wix to see for anything that kind of suits it, or you can upload your own media as well. And you can search for different icons as well. And you can see we have a list of the services here, and again we are going to link this to services, and we're just going to change the color as well to make it stand out a bit more. So as you can see, it's really easy to kind of update the text and content and create really sleek features as well. As you go along, it's really important to make everything responsive, so always keep checking on different browser and devices as well. Make sure everything is scaled appropriately and reasonably. Next we have featured projects. We are actually going to change this slightly and call this blogs. As we're going to add a blog section later in our videos, we'll leave this section out for now. And next we have a partners section, so you can talk about different partners as well that you have. And we have a get in touch section. So actually what we're going to do is replace this image, and we are actually going to add a form. So Wix does give you the option to add different forms around your website. So we're going to do an add, and we're going to look for contact and forms. And we are just going to click and drag a form that we like and make some changes to it. And you can see we've got this form here. And we're just going to increase the width of it slightly. So we have our first name, last name, email, and message. What we can do as well is click on edit form, and it will take us to the form editor over here. And we've got first name, last name, email, message, and what we're going to do as well is offer a multi-choice option as well. Actually, it might be easier to offer a drop down instead. So this is going to be for where did you hear about us, or how did you hear about us. So we're going to change the field title, and we're going to change the options. Option 1, Google search, and the form again, and just add all the options that are necessary. And you basically just want to go in and add whatever fields that you want to add. They do have the option for rules, so you can change rules based on the condition of different forms. For example, for the how did you hear about us, we have an option for other. We can add another short answer field and then change the title to say if other, if tell us more about how you heard about us. And what we can do in this instant then, if someone were to select the other option, then this field would show. So if the how did you feel about us is equal to other, then this field is shown. So we have to hide this field. So by default, this field, this tell us more about how you heard about us, is hidden unless they select other as the option in the previous one, and then it'll show this one. So they've really improved sort of like the form section as well. And you can go in and add, you can preview the form, see how it looks, and you can also go into your form submissions as well once this is done, and you just want to save your changes before leaving. And this will then update as well, so you can see the new form being added, and it's already following the styling that we've already set. So we can go into settings and just see a little bit more about what we can edit in the form section. So we've got the contact us. What we can do is click on design button, the submit button, and you can see there's different ways that we can do the styling for that as well, but we'll leave everything as is for now. And so we've got the get in touch, this space here, contact us. We'll remove that because we have the contact us section here. What we'll also do is we'll add some text to add some social media links and add some contact info as well. So what we're going to do, click on the plus again, and we should be able to find some social media bars. Yep, just this one here would be fine. And we're going to click and drag that onto here, and we're just going to add that to the bottom. We're going to change the styling slightly. And that's okay. What we're going to do is set social links as well, so you can click into that, remove any of the social media links that aren't relevant, and then you can also click into them and just keep adding them as well. So you can see you've got social media links here, and we are also going to add some space for a phone number and a text as well. So we're going to add a paragraph 2 text, and we're going to add that just underneath social media links. So we're going to add the first one as a email, and we are going to add a phone number as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to link each of them. So the mail app, we're going to do email and link it to the email that we want it to link to. And we're going to do the same for the text, this text here. And link that. I think that might already be linked. Nope, so phone number. And we're just going to add the phone number. So it's really important when you add a email or a phone number link, phone number text anywhere on your website that you link it as well. People kind of instinctively feel like they can click on it, so you want to make sure you make it easy as possible to click as well. And then what we're going to do, we're going to click and drag that a little bit up. We can also add some text. And we have a contact us heading on the form, so what we'll do is we'll update that as well to make it a bit more readable. And that's it. So we've got a kind of contact us section as well, and then we've got the footer at the bottom. What's really good about this contact us section is that we can sort of use this on every single page that we have. It's really important at the end of the page there is some kind of call to action to get in touch or to sign up or whatever it is that you want your users to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this section. We are going to make sure that it's fine on the different devices. And then what we can do is click on responsive AI on this section. And what it does is, so the responsive AI is really cool. When you run the responsive AI tool, it generates a layout suggestion for that section within seconds. So you don't have to apply the suggestion if you don't like what you see in the preview, you can simply discard it. But what essentially it does is that it takes in your section and analyzes the different groups that's on there, and it will give you a responsive layout based on that description as well. So it really saves time. It also just makes sure everything is responsive as you need it. So now this is a preview, and what we can do now is use the different drop downs and see how it looks on the different sections, and see how it looks on mobile. So this section here you can see, and then once you're happy with all of that, what you can do is click on apply design, and that way you know that this section is now set up and it's more responsive and really quick to use as well. As we mentioned before, this section we can reuse over and over again to other pages on the website, and because it's already styled and filled in, all we would want to do is just take that section and put it in somewhere else. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we have this section highlighted, so we can do that. Just make sure you can see we put the section highlighted here. We're going to right click it, and what we're going to do, we are going to set it as a global section, and we're just going to click on set in section. And you can see our global section here. We've got the header and we've got the footer, and now we've got this section here. We're going to rename it and call it Contact Us, and now that will be added on every page that we have between the header and the footer, and it's up to us to then just add sections in between them as well. And that's it. So we have our homepage pretty much done. There's still some content left to add. In our next few videos, we are going to go over how to use the Wix Studio Content AI generator to help fix some of these image content and the written content as well. But for now, we know how to add different sections, and we know how to make them mobile responsive as well.
So that was a quick intro into the Wix Studio Editor. Feel free to look back on our channel. We've got loads of more in-depth videos using the Wix Studio Editor, but that was just kind of like a beginning. Now let's talk about the Wix Editor X. So Wix Editor X is an older version, older website creation platform from Wix, but it's still widely used today. It is a good option for individuals and small businesses who need to create a website easily and quickly, but it's not as powerful or as flexible as Wix Studio, and it's not designed for agencies or freelancers who manage multiple sites. Let's take a quick look at the Wix Editor X. So let's take a look at getting started with Wix. So we're just going to create a simple Wix website using the Wix editor. And from the get-go, you're using the AI to generate your website. You do have the option to set up without AI. We're just going to use the AI chat to get started with our website. So as mentioned before, Wix will allow you to generate a whole website based on text descriptions that you give, but it will give you prompts basically to write about so that it has an idea of what to generate. So the first thing that it's going to ask for is, what do you want to call your site? So you just want to give it an answer. You do have options at the bottom. You have options to rephrase the question if you don't understand. If you click help me answer, it'll give you some suggestions on how to answer the question. And if you want to skip the question entirely, you can just click skip question. Or if you change your mind about using the AI, you can just end chat and continue. So so first of all, what do you want to call the site? And then you just want to write in your answer. And you'll see on the right, it'll generate a site profile where it kind of makes a note of what kind of site this is and be able to create a site with the most relevant content. So the next thing it's going to ask you is to tell the ADI a little bit more about your business. What types of services and products do you offer? And you just want to type in the answer, and it will allow you to move on to the next question. And next thing it's going to ask you is your target audience. And then you want to give more information about where the business is located. And you can see as we're adding more information, the site's profile is also being added as well. You can go back to these answers and edit them. And you can also take a look at what's actually being generated by the website. So you can see it's got site type, some apps that it's included, goals and things like that. And we'll just skip this question for now. And you just want to keep on going answering the questions. And again, if you need help with the question, you can always rephrase it. You can also ask for suggestions, or you can skip questions entirely. So once you've answered all those questions and once you're happy with the answers, Wix will then generate your dashboard, and it will install all the apps that you need, and then it will also generate your website. So you can see we've got our website started off here. We've essentially got a full website that was created in a matter of minutes. No coding and no design knowledge required. We just picked some of the homepage layouts and the different pages on it, and it's essentially created a whole website, which is quite easy. Now, when it comes to editing this website, again, it's not going to take any kind of coding knowledge or background to create a new page or a new section. So for example, Wix have all these pre-designed sections. So if you click on add section in between these two sections here, you can see that we can actually add new sections that are already pre-designed. So there's like different types of sections if you want an about section, a team section, a contact section, etc. You can also add a blank section, and this will add a completely blank section that we can populate with elements. Or we can use the AI creator, and we can basically ask the ADI to create the layout for us. It just depends on what we add to it. So for example, we've got site information already here. In the section type, I want to create a team section. And you just want to create the section, make sure you add in type in at least what it is that you want added in that section, and it'll put together that layout for you. And again, I've not used any kind of coding or any kind of design like background knowledge or anything like that. I've just typed in exactly what I wanted, and it's going to start generating a section for me. And you can see there's 3 different sections it comes back, and then you can just pick between these 3. If you're not happy with it, you can go back and maybe update the text, but for now, if you're happy with it, you just want to click on the section that you like, and you can just drag it onto where you want it. So it's just simply added this section, and it's added it, and I really like this section actually, and all I need to do is go in and just edit the content that's on it. Speaking of editing content, again, really simple to just add different elements and widgets onto the page and edit them. So for example, this paragraph here, if I wanted to edit it, I just need to click into the actual paragraph and click on edit text and just edit the actual text content, but I can also edit the styling as well, font sizing, formatting, things like that. And if I click on the plus button up here, you can see there's a few elements here, and I can just click and drag those on as well. So for example, if I wanted to add a button, I can just click on the button that I want. I'm going to use one of the themed buttons, and I'm just going to click on and drag it on to where I want it, and you can see the button is here, and all I need to do is change the text and then choose where to link it to. I'm going to link it to the contact page, and that's it. That's really easy to do. All I need to do is just click and drag to where I want it. And the good thing about this template is that it's also mobile responsive as well, so there's not a lot of work that needs to be done. You just need to go in, change the colors if you need to, and update all the content that's on it, and it's really easy to update content. I just need to click on it and edit the content. So that was a quick intro into Wix Editor X, and again, if you want more information, if you want more videos, tutorials, please have a look at our channel. We've got loads of videos and tutorials on Wix Editor X as well. But here's just a quick kind of table that summarizes the key differences between Studio Editor and the Wix Editor X. So you can see when it comes to the target audience, the Studio Editor is designed with agencies and freelancers in mind. This is because we tend to manage multiple websites, and the CMS and the dashboard makes it really easy to manage that. The Editor X is mainly for individuals and small businesses, really people who only have maybe 1 or 2 websites that they're responsible of. When it comes to design capabilities, Wix Studio Editor is a lot more advanced. They have smart design capabilities, and they use a lot of AI in their work, whereas Editor X is a bit more manual, but you still have a lot of control over functionality and design as well. Editor X has limited development tools, whereas Studio Editor does have the ability with custom CSS, APIs, SPIs, and reusable components. And in terms of workspaces, you have a site-level workspace for Editor X, and Wix Studio is more of an account-level workspace. In general, Wix Studio Editor is a better choice for agencies and freelancers who need to create high-end websites at scale. Wix Editor X is a really good option for individuals and small businesses who need to create a website quickly and easily. So that's a wrap for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was beneficial for you. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content just like this. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the section below, and I'll see you in the next one.